Since the Hong Kong National Security Law was introduced in June 2020, society has gradually returned to peace and order. Yet, at bustling border points and vibrant tourist hotspots, national security bounty posters printed with black and white photos are often displayed, which not only spoils the view but also leaves tourists puzzled. Does Hong Kong really have so many people committing serious national security offenses? And under the white terror hyped by Western media, it has further spawned fears of the Hong Kong government punishing so-called political crimes, and that being in Hong Kong makes it easy to fall into a political snare. To answer the doubts of tourists and help them truly understand the situation in Hong Kong, we have produced the program Fugitives Beyond Redemption, using 3 national security fugitives as examples. It not only reveals their misdeeds while they were in Hong Kong, but also discusses how, after fleeing overseas and being subject to arrest warrants, they remain obsessed with subverting the Chinese regime. The protagonist of the first episode of the program focuses on Law Kwun-chung Nathan, who was once Hong Kong's youngest legislative councillor, and how he degenerated into a national security fugitive. Nathan Law, who is 33 years old this year, rose to political fame during the unlawful Occupied Central in 2014. As a standing committee member of the Federation of Students back then, he threw himself into this political turmoil, giving speeches on stage, accepting interviews, and even taking part in a dialogue with Lam Chain Yut-or Carey, who was then Chief Secretary for Administration. Apart from gaining a political halo, it also left him embroiled in lawsuits. Although the case of storming the East Wing forecourt of the central government offices landed him in prison for a time, he eventually appealed to the Court of Final Appeal and secured a technical win, with the original community service order upheld, which fed his political arrogance. During the window of this legal dispute, Nathan Law, together with Wong Chi-fung Joshua, Chow Ting Agnes, and others, founded the political party Demosisto in 2016, with him serving as its chairman, packaging Hong Kong independence as democratic self-determination to enter the political arena. In the same year, he ran in the Legislative Council election and was elected as a member. However, his triumph lasted only 9 short months, as Nathan Law was disqualified as a lawmaker due to the oath-taking farce. No matter how he boasted of having the support of public opinion, the reality was that more and more people realized the so-called democratic self-determination harbored malicious intent, thereby causing division and conflict. In January 2017, Nathan Law was assaulted at the airport upon returning to Hong Kong from Taiwan, with an attacker stating clearly that it was to oppose Hong Kong independence. Knowing full well that it was against the law, Nathan Law still insisted on walking down the path of Hong Kong independence. In March 2019, he revealed that he would study in the United States, yet in June of the same year, the anti-extradition riots broke out. At this turbulent moment, even before bidding farewell to Hong Kong in August, he still met Julie Ide, the then political unit chief of the U.S. Consulate General in Hong Kong and Macau. Was it just a coincidence that he met a U.S. official? After heading to the U.S., did he have other motives besides his studies? In March of the following year, the answer unfolded before everyone's eyes. Nathan Law returned to Hong Kong to evade COVID-19 and eagerly participated in the opposition's Hong Kong Island Constituency Coordination meeting for the primary election held in the same month, with his sights set, of course, on subverting the state power. On 30th of June 2020, the Hong Kong National Security Law came into effect, and Nathan Law announced his withdrawal from Demosisto. He later admitted that before the National Security Law took effect, he had already left Hong Kong. Was it cowardice, or did he know it would be difficult to stir up political sentiments in Hong Kong again? Nathan Law's flee in panic represented his misgivings about the law, proving his guilty conscience. His own interests also came before his past political promises. Eager to patch up his image as a lover of Hong Kong, after Nathan Law arrived in the UK, he took advantage of the residual heat of the riots to keep a high profile on the so-called international front. He did this mainly through two approaches to prolong his political life. The first was to maintain exposure and seize the moral high ground of public opinion. After fleeing to the UK, Nathan Law constantly accepted interviews with foreign media. Some media reported that since his abscondment, in a span of about over a year, he had accepted over 200 exclusive interviews. During this period, he also contributed articles calling on the West to resist Chinese authoritarianism. For instance, in April 2021, he appeared on a BBC program to comment on the illegal assembly case involving Next Digital founder Lai Chi-ying Jimmy and Democratic Party founding chairman Lee Choo-ming Martin. Ignoring the violent social atmosphere of the time, he tried to reduce the defendant's liability by describing it as a peaceful assembly. In addition, Nathan Law was also a frequent guest at Western hearings. In December 2021, he was invited to attend the Summit for Democracy, hosted by the US. Aligned with the US political stance of suppressing China, Nathan Law, in the name of democratic revival, called on the West to counter China's expansion. Secondly, Nathan Law connected with Western politicians to advocate for the containment of China. After arriving in the UK, he eagerly met with the then US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in London as early as July 2020, talking about Hong Kong people waiting for the right moment to return to large-scale struggle, and pushing the international community to respond toughly to the CCP's authoritarian expansion. In August 2020, he wrote to urge the British government to sanction Hong Kong SAR officials under the Magnitsky Act. In September 2021, Nathan Law went to Washington in the US to meet with politicians like the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, to push for the Hong Kong Safe Harbor Act, which was a sanctuary bill aimed at Hong Kong people, attempting to portray unlawful acts in Hong Kong as political offenses. As Hong Kong returns to tranquility, with no more black-clad rioters blocking roads, setting fires and hurting people, Nathan Law continues to back Western political forces to continue stirring up political turmoil in Hong Kong. The so-called sanctions harm every single Hong Kong citizen, and their impact is still visible today. Is this really democracy or just personal political selfishness? However, walking down the path of breaking the law, glory is bound to have a time limit. For Nathan Law, whether to himself, his family, or his comrades in arms, what he got was only failure and guilt. His years of political radicalism could not save him from the fate of being wanted. At the end of July 2020, news broke that the National Security Department of the Hong Kong Police Force wanted Nathan Law. In July 2023, he was placed on the 1 million Hong Kong dollar bounty wanted list. Despite the backing of the UK and the US, Nathan Law could not act with impunity. In September 2025, he departed from the US for Singapore to attend a closed-door meeting, only to be denied entry by the Singaporean authorities. Breaking the law himself, he further implicated his family. When news of his national security arrest warrant spread, Nathan Law cut ties with his family on social media, stating that he had not contacted his relatives since leaving Hong Kong and had severed relations with them, having no further contact. Yet under the procedures for investigating wanted fugitives, his family members were taken away for questioning. Reportedly, Nathan Law's second elder brother was also dissatisfied with his brother's actions and declared online that he had severed ties with Nathan Law, further urging him to return to Hong Kong to face everything, stressing that he and their mother only wanted to live peacefully in Hong Kong. As for Nathan Law, in response to enquiries, he could only give weak replies of not clear and no comment. As for his comrades in arms, such as Joshua Wong, Chu Hoi Dik, Eddie, and others, Nathan Law could only offer weak and cheap blessings. Having fled for nearly 6 years, Nathan Law's grand plan of resisting China is going downhill day by day. The so-called International Front, with US President Donald Trump getting out of hand, Hong Kong's political issues were sidelined by the international community. A group of Hong Kong emigrants to the UK once boasted about speaking out overseas, only for their enthusiasms to cool down. And Nathan Law had to admit this low tide as well. For him, who used to talk endlessly about politics on Facebook, now has only a handful of posts. As one leaves, another takes their places. Nathan Law's low profile has paved the way for another national security fugitive in the UK, Zhang Hei-cheng Cowie, to rise. Seeing her being commended internationally, basked in political embrace, and even becoming a new darling of the media, it is not hard to see the shadow of the former Nathan Law in her. Yet beneath the political vanity, Nathan Law has lost his life, departed from his family, and under his extreme choices, he has lost everything. What is gained through breaking the law is never worth it. In the next episode, we will move on to Australia to see how another national security fugitive, Hui Chi Fong Ted, for his own political selfishness, instigated unlawful acts and ruined others' futures, while he himself lives peacefully overseas. See you in our next episode. Thank you for watching.